LANDR versus UnitedMasters. Which one is best for you and your music when it comes to music distributors? That's what we're going to look at in this video. So first off, what plans are we comparing? So I'm looking at the cheapest plans for each of these distributors. You might find the more middle tiers are better for you, but when I was looking at these, I found that the kind of the perks you got for upgrading with UnitedMasters, they didn't really seem to be all that great. Maybe just a few extra promotional things. We don't really get a whole lot of extra. So I thought it was only fair to compare the cheapest plan of UnitedMasters with the cheapest plan of LANDR. Now with LANDR, if you were to upgrade to their middle tier, you get a few extra things. You can basically, and with both these plans, you get your music just released a little bit faster. You get support a little bit faster. With LANDR, you can release under 5 different artist names or artist profiles. UnitedMasters, you don't get any extra. I'll cover this later because we're going to go through each kind of the major categories that I think are most important for determining which platform you go with. Or I'm not going to compare like every single one of the features that each of these platforms has, because there's a lot out there that don't really matter. For example, like user interface. Who really cares how easy the platform is to navigate? They're all pretty good. What really matters is what you're, the things like how much you're earning, how much music you can release, different things like that. Or how much money is it? How much is it going to cost you, and how much money is it going to make you? And how do those compare? So that's what we're looking at here mainly. So these are the plans I'm comparing. So looking at price first of all, so LANDR is $23.99 a year, and UnitedMasters is $19.99 a year. So UnitedMasters is $4 a year cheaper. When you just look at that, LANDR also gives you the ability to release music in the form of pay per release. So you can pay $9 per single or $19 an album. So if you don't like subscriptions, you can go that with LANDR. So the flexibility, I think, gives LANDR an upper hand. And then also you get a lot more perks with LANDR's middle tier versus UnitedMasters middle tier. And UnitedMasters middle tier is more expensive. So if you look here, LANDR's middle tier, which is called Select, it is $60 a year basically. And LANDR's is only $45 a year. So it's a little bit cheaper, and you get a whole lot more things that you don't get with UnitedMasters. So I guess you could say this is a toss-up, or even maybe UnitedMasters is the winner here slightly, but because of the flexibility that LANDR gives you with the different pricing models, and the fact that you actually, as you upgrade, you are going to be saving more money, I'm saying that LANDR is a slight winner here. Now earnings are a tie. They both give you 100% of your royalties, so that is awesome. You don't have to worry about losing out, a percentage of each of one of your streams. So that makes both these platforms great for that. Now, speaking of streaming and earning royalties, you're not going to make a lot of money just using a music distributor and just uploading your music to Spotify, Apple Music, and so on, because sadly, your music isn't going to promote itself. These platforms aren't going to promote your music for you unless you get the ball rolling first. So if you want to know how to do that, grab my free Spotify playlist secrets guide. I'll have that linked in the description below, or you can just go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/Spotify secrets. This is a guide that will walk you through some awesome free strategies to start growing your streams on Spotify and actually trigger the algorithms so Spotify promotes your music for you. This is how you can start to earn $500 to $1,000 a month in Spotify streaming royalties alone. So definitely grab this guide. It's completely free in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/Spotify secrets. All right, back to the video. Distribution. LANDR distributes to 150 plus stores. Like, that's insane. Like, I can only think of a handful out there, the major ones, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, so on, Deezer, Tidal. So LANDR has you covered. UnitedMasters only distributes to 50 plus, right? Only, that's a huge number. So really, we're splitting hairs here. I think if you are using UnitedMasters, you're on all the major platforms. I wouldn't really feel like I'm missing out, but that is a big difference, right? 150 versus 50. So I am going to say LANDR is a slight winner here, but maybe they're both adequate, so I wouldn't really have this be like a deal breaker for me. So both great platforms in terms of distribution. Now, number of artist profiles. So at their cheapest plans, both these platforms, they only give you one artist profile. So say you have 2 different music projects and you want to upload music under both of them, you'd have to get like a new plan if you're UnitedMasters. So every new artist profile you want to release music under, you have to sign up for a whole new account. With LANDR, you can just upgrade to their middle tier, and that gives you 5 different artist profiles you can release under. So because of that, you're going to save a lot of money over time if you're just use, and it's a lot easier to use because you have all under one account. So I would say LANDR is the winner here as well. Now, YouTube Content ID. This is an important one. So what is YouTube Content ID? Content ID lets artists claim royalties whenever their copyrighted music appears on YouTube. This means getting paid each time anyone uploads your performance or uses samples of your music in their videos. So this is an important one. How do these stack up on that? Well, they both offer YouTube Content ID. So if someone uses your music in a YouTube video or a sample of your music, you will get a cut of the royalties for that, for like ad revenue. But there's a big difference here. Number one, they both take a 20% cut. That's pretty normal across the board for these different platforms. They usually take a small cut, as you know, makes sense since they're offering the service to you. But UnitedMasters, you also have to pay about $5 per release. So that makes LANDR the clear winner here, because that can definitely add up if you're paying $5 for every release just at YouTube Content ID, whereas for LANDR, it's free. It's built in with their cheapest plan for a limited time. So I don't know how long that's going to be available, but eventually it's going to be only probably their middle tier. But right now, you can get the cheapest plan for free, YouTube Content ID, which is really awesome. So LANDR is the winner here as well. Now, payment splitting, this is a big one too. So if you are collaborating with someone and you want to split the royalties, say 50-50 or 60-40 or what have you, you want this to be split automatically, right? So as it gets streams, the money is immediately, automatically diverted, whatever percentage you set to you and your collaborator. And so LANDR's awesome. They do this for free, right? So you both have to have a LANDR account, but if someone isn't like paying for LANDR, they can just sign up for a free account just to collect the payment splitting. So that's great. UnitedMasters also offers payment splitting, but that other person does have to be a paying member. And again, their cheapest plan starts at $19.99 a year. So if you want to do that, it's only free if you're working with collaborating with other people that have UnitedMasters. Otherwise, they're gonna have to pay money. That could be, prohibitive. So I would say LANDR is the winner here, since there's no extra fee or barrier to entry for payment splitting. It takes us to cover song licensing, and this is a huge one. This could be a deal breaker for many people. It is for me, and the fact that UnitedMasters does not allow cover songs as of the recording of this video. I should probably double check that. So yeah, I researched this video like a month ago, and I'm just now recording it. But yeah, it says at this time, we're not able to support the distribution of cover songs. We apologize for any inconvenience. So that is a huge deal, right? Cover songs, number one, they're just really fun. Number two, they're a great way to grow an audience and grow a following, because people are actually searching on these songs, right? If you're just a no-name artist, no one's actually searching on you and your music, but they are searching for maybe cover songs. So it's an easier way to get discovered, to start getting some momentum and traction. So cover songs should be a huge part of your strategy if you're a music artist and looking to actually grow a fan base and actually get some income from streaming. But you can't do any cover songs with UnitedMasters. You can't even like collect your own license and upload that or anything. So that is really bad. On the other hand, LANDR is one of the best, actually probably the best distributor out there when it comes to cover songs, because a lot of these platforms, they don't offer you licensing of any kind. You have to go hunt down the license. You have to update it, repay for it, update it, all that kind of stuff on your own. Or a platform like DistroKid, you have to pay $12 a year per cover song. Ouch, that really adds up. Whereas with LANDR, it's just a one-time $15 fee, and boom, all the licensing is covered for you. You don't have to go hunt down the license. You don't have to go pay for that. It's just offers you a ton of peace of mind. It really speeds up the process, makes it really easy. You can put out a lot of cover songs, and it's very affordable as well. And you're not paying every year. It's just a one-time fee. So LANDR is a huge winner here when it comes to cover song licensing. So what about speed of delivery to like the major platforms like Spotify and Apple Music? Well, with their cheapest plans, LANDR takes about 7 days. UnitedMasters says they take 5+ business days. So again, if you count weekends in there and so on, it's probably around the same amount of time. And then if you upgrade to their middle tiers, it's also, they both say 2 days. So they're basically exactly the same speed of delivery. So that takes us to what if you cancel, right? This is a big thing that I don't think gets covered enough, is what are the cancellation plans of these different platforms? Like how much are you locked into these platforms? How easy is it to switch, right? Because these platforms are always changing, right? In a year, they could have completely different offerings, completely different payment plans, and so on. So you might want to switch in the future. So what happens if you cancel? Or maybe just you decide you don't want to keep paying a subscription fee, or something happens to your credit card, you go through a financial difficulty, whatever, what happens if for some reason you can't keep paying your subscription? Well, LANDR is awesome because it reverts to an 85-15 split where you still keep 85% of the royalties. LANDR just takes 15%. So your music, number one, it stays up indefinitely on these platforms, right? As long as the internet exists, there's no, zombie apocalypse or anything, your music is going to stay up forever and you get 85% royalties, which is really awesome. Unfortunately, with UnitedMasters, and reasonably so, I mean, a lot of platforms have the same thing, is they'll just take your music down. So this makes LANDR really unique and special in my mind. So LANDR's a clear winner here as well. So overall, who is the winner if we compare all these different categories? Well, let's just recap. So price, you could say UnitedMasters is the winner here because you do save like $4 a year on the cheapest plan, but the flexibility of LANDR giving you multiple pricing options from subscriptions to pay per release options to the fact that their middle tier is actually quite a bit cheaper and it gives you actually a few more perks than the middle tier of UnitedMasters, I think makes LANDR the narrow winner here. They tie on earnings and speed of delivery, but then LANDR takes every other category. Right? They distribute to more platforms and stores. They allow you to get more artist profiles without having to continue to sign up again and again with multiple accounts. They offer you YouTube Content ID for free. They have easier payment splitting where you don't have to pay an extra fee. They give you cover song licensing, number one. UnitedMasters has no cover song licensing. Not only does LANDR allow you to upload cover songs, but they also give you an extra option where you can pay $15 one time and they take care of all the licensing for you for your cover song. You can also go get the license yourself if you want to. You can go to Easy Song Cover Licensing or Harry Fox Agency and go and purchase the mechanical license yourself, and then you can upload the documentation, all that if you want to. Or if you don't want to go through that headache, you can just pay LANDR one time $15 and you're set and you're good. So that's amazing. And then cancellation policy, LANDR is much better because your music stays up and you still get paid even if you cancel, whereas UnitedMasters, your music gets taken down. So I think it's pretty clear that LANDR is far and away the better platform here. It kind of blows UnitedMasters out of the water. So if you're using UnitedMasters or you're trying to decide which one of these you should use, definitely use LANDR. And if you use my link, orpheusaudioacademy.com/LANDR, you could actually get 20% off your first year. So you would save even more money. So be sure to grab this link so you can get started right away and take advantage of all the amazing perks that LANDR offers. Now, I do want to point out, I believe this discount only applies to LANDR Studio, so not just the distribution alone, but LANDR Studio gives you access to AI mastering, tons and tons of samples. Basically, it's like Splice. It gives you a bunch of plugins. It gives you courses, a whole bunch of stuff for just one small monthly or yearly fee. So if you do want to go and upgrade and get the most bang for your buck, then you can go with LANDR Studio, which is what I use. I think it's awesome and definitely recommend it. Now, if you're still not sure on what music distributor you should sign up with, I did a video comparing the 8 top music distributors out there and looked at how they compare in all these different major categories, and I determined which one is the winner and which one is the overall best one for you. So go ahead and check out that video now. It's on a box on the screen. Just click that and you can go see that video so you can know for certain which music distributor is best for you.